channel.
Greetings and salutations and welcome one and all to our playthrough of Pathfinder the Ruby Phoenix, a inspired Asian-styled adventure set in the world of Galarian, in the lead-in to the Ruby Phoenix, Fist of the Ruby Phoenix module that my players will be playing later on. Joining me, of course, are my wonderful Patreons who support this channel, help me keep my lights on, and as of this month, have helped me celebrate my festive season quite well. So thank you to each and every one of these wonderful and kind people, and of course, a welcome to you, the audience, who will be enjoying today's game. Now, before we kick off, we obviously send our apologies and our best wishes to Nick, who will not be here. Nick is, of course, our player of Hatsune, our dwarven sumo wrestler, who has been carried off by a large bird. We'll talk about that in a minute, but before then, guys, we're going to take a quick moment to thank our sponsors for this show, and that is, of course, Hero Forge for the wonderful characters and artwork you'll see throughout the show, Fantasy Grounds for our virtual tabletop of choice, and, of course, Sirenscape for the lovely music that you will be hearing throughout the course of the game.
Level up.
There we go. You do not level up. All right. Now, of course, any good game is built upon the backs of really good characters, and these really good characters are played by wonderful people who I'm going to let introduce themselves and the characters that they're playing, starting, of course, with none other than Rick. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Michael. I play Liu, who is a Tengu monk. A character from the backwoods of this part of Galarian, who came to the big city to win glory and fame in a grand tournament, only to be roundly humiliated, and has since spent a lot of time in the lesser runs of the fighting circuit, getting his head pounded in for cash, because that's one way to make a living.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Next up, of course, we have the incredible Sean. Hello, Sean.
Hello, good morning. I'm Kaito, Kitsune water sorcerer who has been living on the streets for majority of his life, and then got into a very bad work gig of, with the Oni syndicate, which did not end well.
Indeed. And hopefully your journeys will be able to help alleviate you from your concerns with the Oni Daimyo. Next up, we have, of course, the wonderful and incredible Edward, a.k.a. Captain Malik, a.k.a. Games and Tea, a.k.a. Taisho.
Hello, yes, I'm Edward from the Twitch channel Games and Tea. Yes, I play Taisho, an Oni Iberian who was part of the Oni Syndicate and has subsequently run off with these four other miscreants, I'm going to say, to help out in some way, maybe. It has subsequently ended up with a guilt demon on his shoulder and back, to which he's not very happy about, and is currently nursing a very, very sore head from downing possibly way too much sake in too quick a time.
Indeed. And last but certainly not least, playing the role of Tamaki is the wonderful Neil, aka Emergent Diversion.
Hello. Yes, I play Tamaki, He is a elf investigator who is training to be a magistrate, and currently has left his hometown of Goka, where he is also helping out his friends gather some information about what's going on, about what the daimyo and or the Oni daimyo, and also trying to find some elemental masters to help them in their journey of that.
Absolutely, and it is here that we begin our adventure. Now, before we jump into today's story, we of course have some special stuff for you guys in the audience. As you guys know, if you are of course fans and followers of the channel, we here at the Dead Aussie Gamer don't just invite you to sit here and watch the game and fun as part of the audience, but we invite you behind the GM screen to influence and interact with the game as we play. Now, we can see that Malakisa has joined us and has already decided to drop some suffering on, likely drop some suffering on the group. Now, for those of you who are in the audience, there are a number of ways you can influence. Through the channel points that we have, you can basically do things from giving insight bonuses to help solve puzzles and clues, plot twist cards that allow people to, like, you know, kind of change up the story as we go during the game, give group inspiration, etc., etc., etc. Now, for a monetary cost, you can, of course, gain a number of other rewards, such as hero points and jinx points, which, of course, go towards, positive flips, petitioning the GM for stuff, staving off death, and the like. For $10, you can grant a wheel or woe, swiftly turning the scenario to or against the party's favor. For a $20, you can give a player or the GM a natural 20, and for $50, you can create a custom magic item or encounter for the group to deal with. We've had a few custom NPCs get thrown together, and they do get their little Hero Forge minis. We had our werewolf scenario donated thanks to a $50 donation. So they don't just they're not just sort of throwaway characters or anything like that. They are actually quite influential in the course of the game. So yes, first of all, thank you to Malakisa for the $25. Please. I have a suspicion of where you're going to go with it, but if you could tell me just blatantly, where you would like to allocate that $25, I will put it on the board. All right. So, without any further ado, our heroes find themselves atop a mountain pass, journeying high and wide to try and reach the Dragon Temple. Liu, Hatsune, Kaito, and Taisho managed to make it to the small Sherpa village at kind of like not the peak of the mountain, but like the last checkpoint of the mountain. It is there that they were told that many have traveled. Few had managed to travel this high, and the people that lived here are all training to be better at the martial arts that is native to this particular region, which they call it the Way of the Stonebreaker. The Way of the Stonebreaker, one of the techniques that they learn is called the Rock Smash, where they begin to be able to eat through the hardness of stone and rock, which, of course, Hatsune took some time to go and learn, having her hands crushed, and then after consuming a very special a high calcium ram's milk, has started to knit the bones back and has taken to the style quite well. Liu and Kaito have remained vigil in the Sherpa camp, waiting for hopefully Tamaki, who is trapped underground, to arrive, which, in turn, he does. After being chased out of the underground by a series of zombies that the group swiftly dealt with, it was learned that the pathway was not too far or too long from where they currently were. Taisho, who is dealing with a curse that was placed upon him, has a demon that is constantly whispering guilt into his ear over the back of his shoulders. His confidence slowly beginning to sort of dwindle as the adventure is going on, but we'll see the impact of that as the group continues. Now, for the purposes of this, I will say to Taisho that I want you to just imagine that the guilt demon is second-guessing you all the time, mostly because I don't want to, obviously, continually roleplay that. But it is a nasty little thing. And if you want to react to it, we'll obviously assume that it said something or done something. All right.
Sure.
So, our heroes are atop a large rope bridge. As they are crossing, one of the boards beneath them snap, and we watch as Hatsune falls, plummeting into the chasm and mists below. But no sooner than that happens, the beating wings of a large avian creature soar and swoop, catching Hatsune on its back before taking to the air. The entire bridge itself suddenly sways in one direction. I need everyone to make me a reflex save as it is suddenly shifted.
Oops, there we go. 21.
21?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right.
It's a good thing, too, because I'm in the center of the bridge. Right next to the hole.
All right, so we got a 21, a 23, a 20, and an 18. All of you are fine and managed to hang on, but watch as Hatsune is swept away. What do you do?
Well, like, I was, like, reaching down for her, right? Like, at that point?
Yeah. You were reaching down.
I quickly get up to my knees and, like, try to turn to, wherever side Tamaki is on. I'm like, you can do tracking skills. You can follow that, right?
I mean, I can try.
What has led you to believe that that Tamaki has tracking skills?
He's claimed to have them in
Has
the
he?
past.
Yes, I think he has.
I don't think I have.
Whether it's sufficient to track a bird flying through the sky is entirely another question.
He sits there, goes to a rock, and he's like, "Yes, the bird definitely went through here. How do you know? There's its nest."
Liu at this point is basically goes to the edge of the bridge and peers over the side and just goes, "Oh man, she's so lucky."
What?
Looking at the rock, which direction does it seem to be going? Towards the temple or like?
It looks like it is heading north by northwest. The temple is to the north, so it looks like it's going in roughly the right direction.
Okay,
Maybe we can keep an eye out while going along this path.
The best thing we could do is just cross the bridge, and we could try to see if we find her up ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to be on this bridge any longer than I have to.
On
All
which
right.
side of the bridge is Taisho right now?
He's on the beginning. I think.
Yeah, you haven't crossed yet.
Oh crap!
Oh god.
Don't look down.
And the only person who has somewhat crossed is Liu, who will make it the rest of the way relatively easily. Now, each of these squares is roughly 10 foot, but the winds are causing it to sway, but not too drastically yet. Liu, as you get to the other side, you find yourself at the in kind of like this flat plateau with rolling fog. It looks kind of mysterious in a way, but as the fog kind of rolls in, your eyes begin to adjust, and you see through the haze what looks to be some rather impressive doors.
Hey,
As
wow,
per this picture.
There's some gates ahead. There's another I don't know, shrine. Too big to be a shrine. You guys should see this.
Is there another way across this bridge? I don't like this bridge.
Well, I mean, I
I mean,
guess
you
you
can
could
always go
probably
down the
climb
chasm.
along beneath it if you hang on and use it like a ladder.
No, that is worse.
You can always climb down the chasm, come up the other side. I don't think there's an easy way
Taisho looks
across.
over, looks down the chasm, and then very quickly pulls back and goes, "Nope."
I think the bridge is your best bet.
All of a sudden,
Okay.
the you are pushed aside, The kobold that is traveling with you, the kobold known as Zhujiao, kind of like shoves Taisho aside and says, "Pardon me. Excuse me, coming through," as he then walks between Tamaki's legs, jumps on Kaito's back, and then across him, and then makes his way across the bridge, like it's nothing, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, stop it! Shut up, you!
Liu's actually going to come back the other way because he wants to talk with Bo.
Bo,
come back
I'm
across.
gonna say that Bo will run off at this point. As soon as the eagle flies off, Bo is sort of like chasing it along the cliff edge.
Okay.
He's like,
Not because I don't want you to talk to Bo, but mostly because,
Yeah.
I imagine that's what Bo would do.
Chase after.
Yeah.
All I was going to do was going to try and reassure Bo that we would look for Hatsune, but yeah, that
Bo
works.
just runs off.
Yeah, he's definitely chasing it.
Taisho is going to begin making his way across. He's put his sword away and his shield away, and he's going to hold both sides of the rope bridge as tightly as possible, and is going to slowly make his way across. He doesn't like this at all. He's not liking this. He's never been this high up, and he's never been across a chasm like this before, so he's terrified. And the the demon on his shoulder is not making things any easier.
Yeah.
Oh, he's absolutely not. Not in the slightest. Kaido, Tamaki, you're watching as Taisho is slowly advancing towards you.
I'll inch back, kind of like over the hole. Oh, what's happening? Oh, there we go.
Keep coming towards me. Eyes on me. Eyes on me.
I'm keeping an eye on
your-
Taisho though.
Hands on the ropes.
Also, I
Handly
turn
with
back
your
to
feet,
Tamaki.
eyes
I'm
on
like,
me.
All right.
tell him up the hole.
So super quick.
Hole.
So, Taisho, you are walking from the starting way, and you're holding onto both sides, making your way forward.
Yeah.
Tamaki, you are making your way towards Liu.
Mm-hmm.
Kaito, you are walking backwards on the bridge while keeping an eye on Taisho.
Yes.
Please make a reflex save.
Okay, I kind of figured that was. Yeah.
And I'm going to burn one of my jinx points.
Oh.
Okay, not bad. All right. So, as you reach backwards and attempt to, sort of walk, what you don't notice is how frayed one of the sides of the rope are. And when you place your hand on a particularly weak point, there is this snapping sound as half of the railing suddenly gives way. As this happens, the whole thing slips down to one side, and I need Taisho and Tamaki to make reflex saves as well.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
What
did you do? What did you do?
13. Oh gosh.
19.
All right,
Huh.
Kaito, you
I
grab
suspect I'm
onto
holding it too hard.
the rope, and Tamaki, you do not. You sort of grab onto what you think is the rope, but it turns out to be one of Taisho's belts. As you kind of pull it, it's you're kind of hanging on to Taisho, but Taisho, your weight is currently like putting a lot of strain on the rope that you're holding because of Tamaki's additional weight. All right, the scene is yours. We'll go into initiative just so that we can have a somewhat of a turn order. And we are going to start with Taisho.
Oh god. Taisho is currently frozen in panic.
All right.
That's it.
Cool. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Where can I find that?
Oh, sorry, Fortitude. Ignore me.
Fortitude. Okay. 29.
29, eh? All right, you're fine. You can hold on for hold on for quite a while. You've got the endurance for it. All right, Liu, you're up.
Liu will just. Oh, come on, really? It's one bridge, guys. You face demons.
One bridge that's currently broken.
It's fine. Just give me a moment. Liu looks around in the fog shrouding his side of the chasm to find something that he can anchor a rope to. You know, knowing that if he heads out onto the bridge, he's just going to make things worse.
Unfortunately, you are standing in a stony plateau. It is almost as if someone had come by and completely sheared the stone and the rock into a flat edge. You can't. I mean, you look around. You can barely find any dirt, let alone a rock or a
pure stone.
something. Yeah. Yep. Smooth stone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he will get his rope out anyway, in the vain hope that it might be useful. But that's about all I can think of at the moment.
All right. You gain your rope and you pull it out. We then go to Tamaki.
Alright, so I'm hanging on to Taisho. I'm trying to get the weight.
You are
off of
slipping.
him, slipping. Okay, I'm gonna try and grab onto the bridge so that I can no longer be hanging on to Taisho.
All right.
And that way I can try to get to a spot where he won't have as much weight on his part.
All right, make an athletics check as you attempt to climb up and onto the rope.
21.
Nice. Yep. You climb up Taisho. Taisho, you feel Tamaki sort of scaling your back as he makes it to the rope next to you. Are you going in front of or behind Taisho?
You know what? Let's go behind him.
All right. Very well. All right. Anything you say or do? That's it.
I'm gonna.
Taisho's just looking at you, and there's terror in his eyes.
If I'm allowed to, I'm gonna take up my climber's kit and attach it to me and Taisho.
So to clarify, you're gonna try and attach your climber's kit to Taisho?
Yeah. So if he falls, he won't.
Cool. Make a reflex
or if I
save.
fall. Oops.
Please don't biff it.
We were really afraid for you if Taisho
16?
fell. There's no way you'd be able to keep him on with you.
So, unfortunately, as you reach into your bag with one hand to pull out your climbing kit and then attempt to use it, roll me a percentage. You trust me when I say you want to roll above 50%.
Wrong one. There we go.
Also, Dazzle, 7 months. That's awesome, dude. So good to see you.
58.
All right, cool. You drop your climbing kit into the ravine.
God damn it. Alright, well, that's all I do then. Because that was my action.
All right, please remove your climbing kit from your character sheet.
Damn it. Alright.
All right.
That was the good outcome? Yikes.
Yeah, Kaito.
I just quickly try to make my way across the bridge.
All right, athletics check
Well-
as you begin to try and cross the rope bridge, hand over hand. Now that it's kind of fallen, you're just trying to shimmy across the line, trying to get as close as you can to the edge.
Is it athletics? Oh no. Come on, do good. No, it teetered on 18 for a second.
I saw that.
All right, I'll need another reflex save from you.
Oh, saves. That's actually a little better. Okay, good. Oh no.
All right, you place your hand over the edge, but then you kind of mistime it and you slip. You haven't quite got your grip fully, and you start to fall. Now, Liu, you can make me a investigation. No, do we have an insight? Is there insight in this? No, there's not. Let me have a look. There's no sense motive either. Let's go with perception. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was a 1.
All right.
Not a 7.
This is a reasonable thing to see. You watch as he slips. I'm going to give you an increase in difficulty for this, but if you want, you may make a ranged attack to throw the rope to Kaito, because Kaito is well within range.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, so all I'm doing is increasing the difficulty because you didn't notice until he started falling, as opposed to noticing just as his grip wasn't good enough. All right, raise
do I count as proficient for this? Or not?
I'd say, do you have proficiency in improvised weapons?
Simple weapons and unarmed attacks.
No, then you will not. Untrained.
That's an untrained? Okay. Ooh. All right. Come on, Fantasy Grounds. Can you roll it for me? I moved the map and now it's frozen.
Nope, that's okay. I can do that for you. Ranged attack. That is a 14. That is just enough. That was literally what the DC was increased to.
Yes.
All right, the rope
Nice.
flies out to Kaito, and Kaito, you manage to grab it. You swing downwards and you strike the side of the wall, taking 5 points of damage as you hit the side of the ravine.
Not pleasant, but I'll take it.
All right. Back to Taisho. You hang clinging onto this rope over the precipice of like at least a 600-foot drop.
Oh
There
my
are
god, you had
literally-
to add that bit,
there-
didn't you?
There are eagles flying underneath you.
Taisho's looked down, of course, because he's terrified. He's going to do something stupid like that. Okay. Is he going to snap out of it, or is he going to remain terrified?
We'll make a will save.
I'm going to do that because there's a demon on my shoulder going, you can't do this, you can't do this.
Ooh, nice.
I'd say with an 18, you can muster enough courage to start moving.
Yep. I'm going to muster enough courage to start moving. So, as someone who is actually relatively proficient in acrobatics and athletics, he's going to try and not pull himself up, but he's going to try and pull himself up in a way so that he gets his feet on the bridge, because I'm now presuming that the bridge is gone flat.
Yep.
Ish. So he's going to try and pull himself up to get his feet on the bridge, keeping a hold of the rope, and then shimmy across that way. He's not going to shimmy across just using his hands. He's going to put his feet on the bridge and then sort of walk himself across that way.
So the bridge are just some flat planks at the moment.
Yeah. No, his feet are on the planks. He's holding the rope, and effectively he's crab walking.
Yeah, but you know the planks will just sway, right?
The planks are like loose,
Oh, yeah.
so it's.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They are loose.
Good. Okay.
Well,
I thought I was.
Ooh,
I thought I was
he's
describing
not
it
the
wrong.
brightest. He's gonna try it.
All right.
He's
Yeah.
gonna try it.
You're
He's
trying
not
to do
the brightest.
Taisho.
You'll kick one or two of the planks out when you do that. But yeah.
And then stop. Yeah. And then
Taisho, I
stop
do
realizing
have
that
an
that's a
idea.
futile effort. But he's still gonna try and move across.
Ooh.
What do I
Alright.
need to roll in order to move across? Is that athletics or other
Athletics.
Athletics. Oh well. Okay.
The Tamaki mentioned that they had an idea as you start to. All right. Yep.
He's Taisho is a little bit in his own world right now.
Yep.
He's not really listening.
Yeah, he's
Alright.
too busy being in his own head.
Believe it
You're
or
right.
not.
You got this.
Pretty
You
much.
got this.
Oh yeah, no. Taisho gets across. Is getting across super quickly. Very very swift movements here. As we'll then go to Liu. Liu, you're holding onto the rope that it has Kaito on it. Now Kaito's not too heavy, so you're not even going to need to make a check to hang on. But it's up to you as to what you want to do from this point.
As Kaito grabs the rope and like his weight starts to swing down, Liu will instinctively just drop to his haunches to get his own center of mass lower, and kind of just dig his talons in as much as he can, trying to get some purchase in this just confounded blasted rock. And he... All right, Kaito, just hang on. I'm going to try and pull you up.
All right.
Okay.
As you attempt this, make an athletics check.
Basically, I trust my athletics more than I trust
No, this could be good. But as you dig your talons into the rocks, you realize, one, your talons don't sink in, and two, the floor is incredibly smooth, and you start to slide forward as you're pulling him up.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Change of plans then.
Oh no, you still need to make the athletics check.
Well, yeah, I still need to make an athletics check.
Oh
But I'm
right, you need
thinking
me to
now-
do it. I know. Wait,
No,
sorry.
no, I can do it. I can
Oh,
do it. I
okay.
think Fantasy Grounds is back up. No, it's more a case of I'm trying to work out how to anchor myself, and two wooden poles that are still there for the end of the bridge. If I can brace my staff across the two poles, then I can use that as an anchor.
Ooh, clever. I like that. All right, I'll lower the difficulty for it.
Well, I still got to make an athletics check to actually hold my end while I try and also anchor.
Ah, yes, of course. Well, no, I would say that you wouldn't need to worry too much because you're holding onto to Kaito with one arm, and
Oh yeah!
and with a natural 20, that would be definitely easy. All right, so I'm going to say with that, Kaito, you are pulled up to the edge of the cliff, and you can you can easily just climb out and back over onto the other side. All right.
Okay.
Kaito has made it, as has Liu. Do you say anything to Liu as you climb back up?
As I'm like laying down on my back because I'm not standing up right now because my legs are probably jelly. I was like, what was that about looking at you facing forward, not looking backwards? I'm sorry about that.
Yes, don't cross rope bridges while walking backwards. Nice. All right. Next up is Tamaki.
All right, so he's gonna try and catch up to Taisho, but what he's gonna do is he's going to jump across to the other side of the bridge that he's currently on, and he's going to try and shimmy his way over to Taisho.
Sorry, what are you doing?
So basically, the idea is I want to be in the same place Taisho is, but on the other side of the bridge.
So you want to flip yourself over Taisho and over his side of the rope.
Well, he's currently forward, so I'm going to do that on where I am now, and then move across.
Let's do the athletics. He's already made it to the end of the bridge, I think.
Who has?
Not quite.
No, he hasn't made it to the end of the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite. I'm still halfway across.
I mean, look, the audience doesn't have it, but you guys have the map. You guys see where you guys are.
Yeah, I see it now.
The idea that I was going to have was because Taisho was trying to put his feet on the bridge, but they was flimsy. So if I'm on the other side and I put my feet on, they're not flat.
Oh, I see. You want to be on the other side.
then we walk together.
You want to be on the other side of the rope.
Yeah.
And when he kicks
Yes.
the plank out, you want to kick the plank out the other side. I get
Yeah,
what
so
you're
it's-
saying. All
yeah.
right, make an athletics check
Let's do
as
that
you
one.
attempt
That's
that.
okay.
Can't cancel each other out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
make an athletics check.
Yes,
All right,
23.
Cool.
As,
So-
as you hang over the non-bridge side of the bridge, this
Yeah, basically you've jumped over the railing, as it were. Well,
Yeah.
in this case, you haven't jumped over the railing because that's dumb. You have, however, just reversed your grip and then allowed your body to spin onto the other side.
Okay, so then I say this to Taisho. You can plant your feet in there now. I will plant my feet where your feet go, and we'll make a firm bridge that we now can walk across at the same equal speed.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I saw what you were trying to do before, and I like it. Let's do this.
Yeah, but I got this far without doing that now. So
I mean,
Bye.
I guess you can continue, but bye.
So if you guys want, if you guys will move in tandem, I will lower the check, of course, because you guys will be helping each other. But yeah, okay, you make your way over
let's try. Let's try.
there. All right, Kaito, you're up.
I sit up from the ground and I look at them and I just kind of try to encourage them as best as I can. I was just like trying to cheer them on, try to give Taisho some confidence. It was like, you've got this.
All right, rah, shish boom ba.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very well. All right.
Taisho needs someone in his corner right now.
All right.
All right.
So Taisho and Tamaki, we're gonna go with you guys. So I need both of you to make athletics checks.
Come on, don't fail me now.
17,
Oh, why did I say that?
15.
No, both are
Yeah, you
fine.
never say that.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right, both are fine. With you guys assisting each other, you make it to just before the edge. You need to make one more athletics check.
Yes!
All right, and with that, our heroes manage to arrive on the other side. Breathing heavily.
Can we not do that again?
How are we gonna
Please.
get back?
Oh no, there's other ways down the mountain. We already asked that. Like, seriously, not to try and sound critical or anything, but I've never seen the crossing of a simple bridge look so hard.
It's a chasm!
It's like,
You expect...
And really weak ropes and wood.
If this
Those
was
are
2
really
feet
bad
off the
eggs.
ground, you wouldn't have thought twice. But what difference does the chasm make?
It's not
Because
2 feet off the
you'll
ground!
If you fall, you die.
I mean, you could also die from a 60-foot fall, but
Well, he was saying
Either-
2 feet.
oh.
Well,
Shut up, you! That was good!
Oh, what?
Don't worry.
oh. But I think we should probably move
Sure.
forward.
Like I'm beginning to think, Taisho, that we should be worrying.
No, it's fine.
As you
Okay.
as you bicker, the little tiny kobold sort of smiles and says, "Well, it seems as though you have managed to finally make it here. Congratulations and welcome to the Dragon Temple."
Taisha gives the kobold a really dirty look.
He smiles at you super warmly.
That's what the gates are. That's the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
well,
Hey, see, guys, look, it's just over there.
hopefully someone,
Okay.
there can help Taisho.
Tamaki stands up and just brushes
It was
herself
their
off.
curse. after
Taisho,
all.
what about Hatsune?
Well,
That's-
I mean, we gotta find Hatsune too. She went north,
Yeah,
more towards the temple, kind of.
this is
Maybe
the
there is
temple.
someone at the temple that can help us find Hatsune.
Yeah.
That would be better first.
The kobold
Come
begins,
on, let's go.
the kobold begins to lead the way. He says, "Yes, perhaps there will be someone here that can help." He arrives at the door, and as he does, you watch as he knocks in a particular fashion. And you watch as the giant red doors begin to shift snow and ice that have caked onto its front, and the doors swing open, revealing the interior of a beautifully maintained courtyard. There are several large stone statues of large lions with curled cloud-like manes, emblazoned in like sort of a kind of protective stance. These are the Fu dogs, or the dragon dogs as they are also referred to. You can see that there are several buildings here, almost like this is like almost like a private estate with houses that have these swooping roofs, like kind of like pretty much kind of like the picture above me. You see all of these houses with these blue rooftops emblazoned with the symbols of the dragons. You can see that there are gutters that have like the long dragon neck that pour water into the runaways in the streets and the like. And all the roads seem to lead up towards what looks to be a three-story castle-like structure at the end of this particular place. Despite the vastness of the estate that you're in, there is not a single person here, shy for a few birds and maybe some of the like sort of animals of the area. You know, kind of you see a little squirrel and a chipmunk sort of running across the streets, but you don't see anyone else.
Hello.
Where is everyone?
No.
Zhu Zhao, is it supposed to be this quiet?
Zhu Zhao doesn't say anything. He seems to be kind of in a reverent state.
I think
as he walks towards the temple.
I think it's more or less there aren't many, like there's only one master here, if there was to be anyone. Not a lot of people come here. So there wouldn't necessarily need a bunch of upkeepers. So maybe that's it.
Just so secluded and isolated.
This
Look at
is
the
a very
size of the
big
estate.
place for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. This place is massive.
It's also mystical.
Anyway, we're
But yes, that is true.
here. What's the plan?
Well, I guess
Explore. Let's go in.
yeah, or follow.
I'm gonna cast the spirit sense and see what I see around me.
As you cast Spirit Sense, you don't see any ghosts or spirits that seem to be lurking in the area, but there's something inherently wrong. You sense that there's a spirit almost in the mountain itself.
Oh, it would have been the elemental spirit sense, that thing we got.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like for ghosts and stuff, but okay. You say I sense one thing?
Yes, in the mountain.
I sense a spirit over in that jagged mountain over there.
No, the mountain you're on.
Oh! Okay, I guess there's something
You're at the
below
peak
us.
of this mountain.
Sorry.
Well, and that makes sense. While you were gobbled up in there, they told us a story at the Sherpa village about how this mountain is deemed to be a spirit creature of its own, and they say their prayers every morning to keep it asleep to assure the giant that everything is okay with the world, as if, and that it
There
can
was
continue its
about to
slumber.
say. All is not right with the world.
Hey, no.
That-
Waking
that-
up the mountain giant, please.
As that begins to
Too late.
echo and resonate around, you can hear the sounds of the earth begin to shake and tremble.
What have I done?
Why did you say that?
Well, it's not right with the world.
I
All
mean,
is not right with the world. Why
I
would people tell a lie to a spirit creature? One
said
who should
so
know
much.
when things are not right with the world.
I said so much under my breath at the village, but I mean, you shouldn't be saying that here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take a very quick moment to welcome in our honored guests from Hex Grid Heroes. Welcome, Raiders, to well, I don't know what's happening. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. And you were playing Starfinder? Nice. I hope you guys had a great time. I love Starfinder. I don't play nearly enough of it. We are
may
playing.
just have kicked off the apocalypse.
I mean, maybe we'll get to that. So, long story short, for our lovely raiders, we are playing Pathfinder Second Edition. I'm going to turn off these earthquakes for a second. Just calm. Thank you. All right. So, our group of heroes are in the Pathfinder world of Galarian, playing Pathfinder Second Edition. They are all Asian-inspired characters. We have Hatsune, our dwarven monk, who is unfortunately not here today. Liui, our Tengu drunken monk. We have Kaito, our water sorcerer Kitsune. Taisho, our Oni barbarian, and Tamaki, our half-elf investigator, who is a magistrate from the town of Goka. Now, or magistrate and training from the town of Goka. Now, the Oni daimyo is a criminal underbody that exists within the town of Goka. These people have crossed the Oni daimyo and need to find a way to free the city and free themselves of their influence. They have been given, thanks to Kaito's surrogate father, a series of scrolls that have a method of learning martial arts that is unique to them. So they're on a quest to travel around the Tianxia in order to speak to the venerable masters of the elemental scrolls in order to try and unlock their secrets. They don't know where the first master is, but have been told that the master of the Dragon Temple, high atop the mountains near Goka, may know where the fire master is. So they've been journeying for quite some time up this mountain and have finally arrived at the temple. They've been told that within the mountains that the Dragon Temple lies on, a giant elemental spirit rests peacefully, and the Sherpas of the mountain, plus the monks, try to keep it calm and at peace. At which point, the group, led by Taisho, has now just basically screamed out at the top of this very serene and peaceful place that the world is in danger. And it's not all right. And now there is an earthquake that is slowly happening. So yeah, that's where we're at. Now, also a bit of an insight for the people who have just joined us. Now, if you're a first-time visitor to the channel, first of all, welcome again. Secondly is you're not just invited to be an audience, you are also invited to participate. If you look at the channel points, we have a number of ways for you to influence the game. And if you feel like being generous and donating to my lovely Christmas, these are some of the awards that you can give to my players or influence the game. As you can see here, we have the wonderful Malakissa, who has donated several Jinx points, which I can use to make life worse for my lovely players. So there we go. I feel like that's caught us up. All right, back to earthquakes. All right, so yes, the earth itself begins to start shaking, and you can see that some of the tiles from the nearby roofs have started to fall and smash onto the ground. Dazzle Sunstrider has awarded a group inspiration for everyone. Keeping in mind, these do not transfer between games, so you may use a reroll each at your discretion.
Nice.
Now, what's your reaction? What do you do? I know Lou's like, what the hell?
Liu is just, well, you know, look on the bright side. At least we're not back on the bridge when this is happening.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I try to get out.
Was I supposed to say that or not?
No, I'm pretty sure you weren't.
Oh,
all right.
Oops.
At this point, you see Zhu Zhao, your kobold guide, sort of step out of well, basically, you know, like I said, he was very reverently walking towards the temple. He doesn't seem to have stopped. Once he gets to the top of the stairs, you watch as he kneels before what looks to be a large bell that hangs with a twisted rope dangling from it. As he does so, he places both hands in front of him and his forehead onto his palms. Then he sits back up, and he takes hold of the bell, and you hear him literally just give it that a tug as it as it rings, the earthquake begins to subside. He then stops again, closes his eyes, and once again, like, places his hands on his forehead. Places his hands on the ground, head on the forehead, and then stands back up.
I run up to him. I'm like, what was that all about?
He turns to you and smiles, and he says, "The air up here is filled with spiritual energies. And there are some who have grown quite fat off these spiritual energies. Sometimes those who understand power know when it must rest. Allow me to properly introduce myself." And he changes his stance. He kind of stands upright, and he says, "I am Zhao, master of the Dragon Temple."
Ooh.
Oh.
I just bow to him immediately. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do too.
Well, I fucked up.
He says, "Do not concern yourself. This place is a remnant, an echo of a time that no longer exists. There are those who care for history, like myself. And there are those who seek to change it. Tradition is important, but so too is growing from where we are planted. Your quest for the Elemental Masters is a dangerous one. I am sadly not familiar with them personally. But I can tell you this. Throughout the world, there are many masters. Some live in temples high atop mountains that are unreachable but to all but the strong. And there are others who live quietly in towns serving tea to the people of the world. To say that you can find these masters is no easy task. But maybe there is something I can do to help. You see, long ago, in a time of ancient dragons, the spiritual energies intertwined with this world in a way that the dragonkin could breathe, that they could smell the sky, they could hear the ocean from any place and anywhere they traveled. Some dragons took on different forms, that of great skyworms. Others bore fire and turned into the elements themselves. Some took smaller forms, such as that of the kobolds. While my power is nowhere near as it were when it was sealed so many eons ago, I may be able to glean insight to help you find that which you seek. Come.
your power.
He gestures for you to approach the steps to the temple.
I'll walk forward.
How shall we eagerly approach the steps?
He leads you in.
Definitely.
He leads you
Yes.
into what? Oh, sorry, go on.
Liu is standing in the gateway, and if a crow can smirk, he's smirking.
It can definitely smirk. Kaito?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely walking up, just staring around at everything and staring at him, just taking it all in.
All right. Inside the temple, everything is made of jade and gold. The floors are perfectly carved with these very swirling, intricate patterns of green, white, and blue that kind of knit together into this very, very beautiful artwork. the pillars themselves, depicting the dragons as described, long serpentine creatures rising up and holding up the roof of the various places here. Leading up to what looks to be a throne that is made of gold. It is wide enough that it's more like a sofa than an actual seat, and it depicts specifically a dragon's head coiled around. He says, the dragons had, as I mentioned, the ability to see and perceive this world in a way that no other could. But we need to have something connecting, something familiar, in order to be able to reach out and locate that which we seek. Do you have something belonging to the Masters that you will look for?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have some scrolls that, the Master of Earth gave us.
Then, if I may, he gestures his hand to receive them.
I think Tamaki had them last. So
Yeah,
Tamaki's gonna hand him all the scrolls, or at least the fire one if he just wants one of them.
He says I could. Yeah, I mean he doesn't know how far his power will extend, but he will take the fire scroll, and as he does, he looks at it and goes over to the throne and sits down. As he looks Yep, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say to him, so you said your power was sealed? Was it sealed inside of this mountain?
In a way. My power was sealed many years ago by those who would bind the dragons in their less powerful forms.
But who would bind such a creature? Why would they bind such a power?
Well, you've answered your own question.
did
There
say
are always
earlier,
those who fear power.
Yes, exactly. There are always
So
those who fear power.
You fear your own power?
No, not bound by the dragons. Others.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Others definitely fear power.
Or wish to claim it for themselves.
He looks down at the scroll, and as he does, he says, "The dragons were bound by the elements, and these masters, well, they used the techniques within this scroll, and the others like it, in order to bind us." He turns and tries to open the scroll, but his hand suddenly snatches away as a lick of fire burns his fingers. Yes?
I mean, I have a bunch of respect for the dragons, and that's wrong, but at the same time, like, you know, the masters have done good things too, haven't they?
Sorry, the dragons were bound by the elements. Why would the elements bind the dragons?
They were wielded. Wielded by the masters. The dragon that slumbers here, well, the power that slumbers here is bound in the earth. Why do you think I work so hard teaching the Sherpas how to carve the rocks with their very hands?
And why would the Earth Master be so close?
Yes, the Earth Master. That old pangolin that bound me to this mountain.
He had his reasons, most likely. were you
What's your response to this?
I assume you weren't a benevolent force in the world.
Oh, you're jumping to conclusions, Kaito.
He says,
But sorry, if I may, fire is fire is fire. Fire is neither benevolent nor is it cruel. Fire consumes what it is in. Fire consumes what comes from. But while fire may seem destructive, it can also bring rebirth.
"You speak
is neither
words
cruel-
of wisdom."
Yes, I know something of elements.
No, you don't. It's tiny little.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Thank you.
the tiny
Shut up.
little. It's the tiny little.
That is. Shut up. I do. And
For,
that I know.
for those of you who
certain,
didn't
so
understand
shut
that
up.
just then, yeah, Taisho actually literally has a tiny cursed demon on his shoulder that just countermands everything he says.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so the dragon's, the Master Zhujiao says, "All right. Well, if you seek the masters of the elements, then know this: their power is great, far greater than I think you understand. But the masters, they're not all benevolent. Not all paths to the height of enlightenment lead through benevolent and peaceful means. You're right. In my past, I was not a kind or forgiving creature. I bent the earth and cracked open the lands at a whim. But in my time, I have learnt many things. The joy and enlightenment that comes with stillness. The sounds of the hurricane tempered by the gentle breeze. And I do not fear the same malice towards the elemental masters as I once did. But these masters, and you need to understand this, have as shady a past. These techniques were not earned through patience and benevolence, but through violence and bloodshed. If the Fire Master is the first you seek, then you need to know something about them, and that is that they, well, the original Master, the progenitor of this style, he did not come from this land. He came from a different world, a land known as Katapesh, far off in a distant sea. Was a creature of greed, of avarice, of pride, and of anger.
It sounds familiar.
Last I had heard, there have been no Fire Masters since then. So if I do this, then what you seek is this master. Do you still wish for me to find him?
Well, as you've stated before, the person you were in the past does not dictate who you are now. So who's to say that they're as bad as you say? Hopefully.
That's sorry, Keitel, but I think that is a little naive. Someone who is that much in that inclined is unlikely to change.
Well,
You can sort of
That's the
kind of sense
case.
that Taisho's talking a little bit from experience here.
yeah. If that's the case, then who's to say? Well, I'll say who's to say they don't deserve it, but it's not like we could fight them. Do you know
Who
of
would
any
be-
of the other masters?
It seems to me that this decision, well, it's not mine. I have never been interested in the Fire Master. Sorry. It's not Kaito's. Your form is something. Hatsune is not here. Tamaki, I don't know how you feel about the power of fire. Taisho, I think maybe this is your choice.
Now, just a real quick pause on this. We're going to go away and talk about table-wise. Now, this is a pivotal moment for the game, as I am going to be deciding which of the elements that you guys chase after, where that master is going to be, and that is the quest that you're going to be on. So basically, this is the decision. And while I appreciate that Rick has said that Edward gets a chance to be able to decide this, I want it to be known that that is Liu's stance. But ultimately, I want you guys as players to be able to agree on where you would like to go next. So I will give you some heads up. So there are 5 elemental scrolls: earth, air, fire, water, and wood. Right? Each of these masters have their own backstory, have their own plot, etc., which of course my audience will be a part of. And more importantly, each of these styles will of course be something pivotal towards our adventure later on. They're all very different. They all do very different things. Like Hatsune's kind of touched on the elemental of earth, because obviously we're not really doing that because you guys know where the Master of Earth is, which is in Goka. And there are still 4 others which are floating around. So it is up to you.
Did you say metal was one too?
Was it wood or metal? Maybe there's 6 scrolls.
heard-
Let's give 6
heard
scrolls then.
wood
Wood
and metal.
I've always wanted to do that anyway. So there's 6 scrolls. There's wood and metal.
Gotcha.
So from a player's perspective, Taisho is now actually having, while having mastery over the fire is something that he absolutely would desire. It's something he desires above all else. Just to get, if you guys are up for a little bit of sort of backstory here, Taisho was a fire elemental before he was turned. And so that desire to gain control back over that is really, really strong. But he's having second thoughts now, namely because he's unsure now, because he's been traveling now and has been with you guys. He's actually beginning, and because he's got this little fucking demon on his shoulder, excuse the French. He's not sure if he wants to pursue this right now. So if you guys decide to go for, if you guys say, yeah, no, sure, we'll have a go with fire, we'll have a go of searching out the fire guy, he'll come along. But right now he's now in a position of, I don't know if this is something I actually want, if this is the way I want, if this is what I want and this is what I have to do, this is not something I'm happy with.
Okay, cool.
Because he's
just from Liu's point of view, then again to fill in some of the background, Liu has spent 10 years in various low-rent fighting circles, and basically his view of this whole thing is that it's a wild goose chase. This is just a reason to be out of Goka and not to be getting killed by the Oni daimyo. His actual belief is that we will learn and grow through the journey together rather than through any one particular master, because he already thought of himself as a master of the air style, and it didn't help him at all.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Which is why he's taken a fairly disrespectful view of the whole Dragon Temple thing.
Oh, to be honest, Taisho's not exactly the most respectful guy either, but
For Tamaki's point of view, I will say that since he isn't still in training to be a magistrate, more or less what he's going for is experience. he's always wanted to go exploring outside of Goka, so this is a great time for him. But at the same time, being able to protect the people of Goka from the Oni Daimyo by finding these 5 elemental masters is definitely a goal of his, other than just exploring and gaining info, being smarter about the world, being smarter about himself. So it doesn't matter where he goes. It just is, like if there's a chance that he can learn a little bit of everything, he might try that. It might be difficult, but we'll see what happens.
So
but
there's
as
not
far
one
as-
particular affinity that you feel stronger than the others?
I feel the wood one might be a little bit stronger because my family my family's sigil is the lily
Plant. Yeah.
So figured, like maybe a little bit of water, a little bit of wood to make plants. But, if there's a possibility that I can learn a bunch of stuff, but more or less wood and water.
Okay, so Tamaki would be sort of kind of up for finding the masters.
Yes, that is for sure. Tamaki wants to find the
Okay.
masters. Doesn't matter which one. He would be more interested in the wood, and then the water would be next.
Okay. And
Yeah,
Kaito?
and Kaito is obviously drawn
And possibly
into the water, like, because he shares obviously like a very elemental connection there. So
Okay. So, well, I know Taisha is definitely up for at least finding the masters. As to whether or not he wants to dive into the fire is another question that he's going to be fighting with.
Fire does seem like a little dangerous for a first one, especially since it means we'd be leaving Tianjia for a bit.
Not to also say Kaito's thought process, like because it hasn't been explicitly said, but he absolutely hates fire. So he was not looking forward to that in the first place. So
well, maybe we should drop back into character and actually ask about the other see if we can get some information
let's
about the other masters.
I get the feeling that we are going to be going for the masters anyway, but
yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so as you ponder this, you ask about the other masters, of which Michael is going to have to write notes because I am making these up as I go on. If any of the audience has any suggestions for what they'd like to see as one of the elemental masters, again, the earth one's chosen, the fire one's chosen. There is water, air, metal, and wood still. So if anyone has any ideas, throw them out there. But I'm going to write these down as I go. All right. So the Earth Master is Yinlo. They are a armadillo person. They are armadillo folk in the town of Goka. They are the 16th Earth Master and currently adopted father to Kaito. That's what you know about them. Zhuzhao basically says that he does not know the Earthmaster, the current Earthmaster, personally, but knows that they are nearby and in Goka. As for the Firemaster, the Firemaster is a elemental being, which, if anyone wishes to, you may make a... Does anyone have a lore to do with, like... well, what is everyone's lore check?
I have lore genealogy. Which deals
fighters
with,
and...
like...
Yeah, lore genealogy. No, that won't help. What about... okay, go with Arcana. If anyone has Arcana, you may roll it to
I
try
do,
and figure
actually.
this out.
got lore
I'm
warfare if
actually
that
not.
helps.
And what was that, Sean?
Oh, I was just gonna say that mine's just basically the city of Goka is what my
Okay. So I got a 24 Arcana.
All right, you've heard of ancient
Sorry.
creatures from across the lands, known as the genie kind, of which there is a fire type known as an Afriti. It sounds as though the fire master may possibly be an Afriti.
Whoa, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't want to deal with that, considering the last time we met the person made out of living fire.
right. Next up is the Air Master. Now, looking at my map here, the Air Master is... Oh, that makes sense. Okay. The Air Master is a swords person. The Air Master was basically a master of the blade, using a razor sharp steeled edge to cut the very air around them. Some say that their form was similar to a dance style, and was among the most beautiful of the forms.
Can't stop.
The Water Master. The Water Master was a tribal master, very proud and protective. They really only kind of looked after themselves. They were kind of like a shaman of sorts, offering wisdom to those who would ask for it, but would really kind of force people away. And he came from the lands of Nagajor. And it is said that there is a tradition where the master is the master's name is a title, and every generation that title is passed on. So what would be the master's name would be carried on to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. So the legend grows, and those who would intrude upon the territory of the water martial artists would quickly learn about the guardian that protects them. The Metal Master was previously a master alchemist.
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
They specialized in transmutation magics and abilities, and eventually became able to bend and manipulate steel and metal. Part of this was also their ability to enshroud and enwrap themselves with a defense that would not only extend to the metal, but their very flesh. They began what was known as the Iron Robe movement, where the human body was able to be pushed to its absolute limit. People standing in lava with no protection from spell or clothes, that kind of thing.
Whoa.
And lastly, the Wood Elementals, who were mysterious and flighty. They lived in the jungles of... They lived in the jungles of Valashmai. Valashmai? And that is where they originally came from. The first master was a dryad who was teaching those in their lands to protect themselves from the dragons. A great green dragon once resided there and was in great conflict with the dryad. And eventually the dragon was felled by those who were the elemental masters of wood. Some say, very akin to myself, the dragon was bound to the forests there.
So, is there an ancient sealed dragon then near all of these masters?
No. Much like this is not near... I mean, it's more coincidental that the Master of Earth is nearby. That has not always been the case.
Okay.
Where did he say the Fire Master was again? On which...
I didn't say where. I don't know where the
okay.
current masters are. This is just what he knows about the masters. These are outdated.
Gotcha.
These are outdated stories. So these are about more the first masters and the kind of sealing of him and some of his brethren.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he just said that the Fire Master was somewhere outside of Tianjia.
No, he's
Yeah,
from
well,
somewhere
He
outside.
came from
Yeah.
somewhere else. Yeah.
So Yinlo
Yeah.
told us a little bit about where some of them might be found. He didn't know where the Fire Master was, which was why we came here in the first place. The current Air Master was in the northern Forest of the Spirit.
Okay, so
Forest of the Spirits.
that's what it's not
Yinlo
what
said.
no, it's what
I think-
yeah, sorry, Yinlo. Yes. Sorry.
I
No,
think he gave
it was
us- I think he
Hatsune's
gave us
master
some-
that said that. I think, wasn't it?
It was
thought it
it was
was-
somebody in the city.
Yeah, because Kaito was technically unconscious when you had that conversation with Hatsune's master guy.
So the Air Master was we think was in the forest to the north. The Water Master was to the southeast.
hmm He didn't know
Fire
where the
we
metal
didn't
one
know.
was.
Earth
Yeah,
obviously
fire
we
we didn't
knew.
know. Yeah,
And yeah, so I think that's all the info we've got at the moment.
yeah.
But what he is saying now is that he can use one of the scrolls to track down the exact location of a master of your choice.
Gotcha.
Which master shall we do?
I think fire is out of the question right now.
Yes.
Which means we'll eventually have to come back here and see if he will do the others, or maybe that master will be able to point us in the next direction.
Well, keeping in mind, you have at least a rough idea of where each of the masters are now, roughly, or at least a trail, right? The only one you
Mhm.
don't have a trail for is the fire elemental one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm
Ta-
partial
Taisha,
to...
Taisha, Taisha will look at Kaito and Tamaki and just go, well, right now I don't feel comfortable with fire.
Okay.
I mean, I'm right there with you on that one.
Yes, I have
Honestly-
seen your power.
I
It's-
I wouldn't
doesn't
mind
affect fire.
visiting I wouldn't mind visiting the water master because I feel like I need a lot more understanding of
I
my
w-
own abilities.
I would say water would be a good one since we have someone who can already kind of control an element.
Let's do water. Let's do water then.
I mean, I guess there's Hatsune too, but we already know where the Earth Elementalist is, or the Earth Master. So
Yes.
I'd say water is the next one.
Sir Zhao, could you help us find the water master?
Actually, really quick, Lou, what do you think? Lou, what do you think? Water?
Hey, look, I don't mind.
You're kind of in the same situation I'm in. You just kind
Yeah, but possibly for different reasons. No, it's okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have no desire to go home. So as much as I would like to know more of the air style of my homelands, it's not time. So
Sounds good.
water
Yeah.
is as good a place to go as any.
Water it is.
All right.
I just realized, yeah, you guys have both like painful connections to kind of the element that you're associated with now.
No, we're all outcasts after a fashion, Kaito. Surely we've worked that out by now.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
You pass and you give the water scroll to to Zhujiao. He hands back the fire scroll, just to be clear on that. As he takes the water scroll in hand, he focuses. The earth once again begins to tremble and shift. And as it does, you suddenly watch as the world around you turns to that same shade of green that the jade is. It stretches outwards and enshrouds each and every one of you. All right. As it does so, you watch as his eyes suddenly open. And with a flash of green, he begins to float just above the ground, holding the scroll in his hand. The scroll begins to leak water, and almost like in zero gravity, the water doesn't seem to land on the ground. It sort of forms these droplets that float in the air. You watch as he then casts his gaze to the floor of the temple, and you watch as the jade tiles start to slip and start to form and create what looks to be a map of Tien Zia.
Whoa.
All right.
I'm going to get my writing set ready.
You watch as the map begins to move. As it begins to move. There we go. Ah, it's gonna be like that. That's okay. Bear with me for 2 seconds while I very readily fix this.
What?
Ignore that.
Aha, peek beyond the curtain.
Yeah. Oh god, why is this happening? Come here, you.
And then I almost killed my computer by knocking it off the table.
There. Do that. All right, fine. I see how it is. Hold on. I got this. All right. A, B, C, D. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. And all right. Bam. I'll come now. Just stay there. Good. All right. Yay! There we go. Worse or better? There it is. Ah!
It's like taking an eye exam.
Look, just don't move. Behave. Good.
Don't move.
I'm sorry. I've never done this before. All right. So, the landscape shifts and begins to move. It starts here in the Dragon Temple, which I'm hoping you guys are seeing, and I'm not stuffing this up.
I see it.
You see it?
Wait, is that not showing for my audience?
It was
No,
like
it's
cut off
showing-
a
it's-
tiny
it's-
little
it's on-
bit,
I
but
see it. I see it
we
on the
could see-
screen.
You see it on the screen. Why can't I see it on the screen?
You zoomed out too far now.
Yeah, now it's back to full. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, hold on.
Just cut Sean's head off. It'll be fine.
Solution to a lot of problems
We
there.
can see the map, but we can't see you. Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, there we go.
Right, cut off its head.
That's working. All right, you can now see the Dragon Temple. Your vision changes to an bird's eye view over the Iriu
Whoa.
Forest, winding through the lands of Quain, across the seething hills, past the Iron Mountains, down south to the lands of Nagajor, where you could see the writhing swamps and marshes, traveling across the winding rivers and marshlands. You then look along the coastal edges of this vast lands to a small island. There, you can see what looks to be a burning and an explosive cliff face, and standing atop this cliff, dressed in the garbs of what looks to be a lionfish, or like some sort of like, it's almost like it's like a mix between a lion and a fish, right? So it's kind of like a merlion, I guess. So he's got like this lion's plume on their head. You can see that they've got like these huge, massive, like kind of fin like appendages that kind of come off its shoulder, and you can see what looks to be an elf. It has painted tattoos on its face, and it seems to be facing off against what looks to be a bunch of like Sahajin that are in the waters. You watch as it seems to be almost maneuvering itself on land and fighting, but then with one scoop of its hand, it grabs like just a handful of water and fires it like a bullet and shoots a hole straight through one of the other Sahajin. Several then attempt to attack it from other sides, and you watch as it places one hand on the surface of the water, which doesn't penetrate the water. It doesn't sink, but instead let his feet drip into the drip in and dip almost like a paintbrush into the ocean as the foot then swings upwards, creating a bladed arc that manages to slice off the arm of a incoming Sahajin attack.
Whoa.
At which point, you watch as he sort of turns to face you, and you watch as he grabs hold of of what looks to be another handful of water, and then fires it outwards towards where you can see like no longer can you see the location, but you can now see you are back at the temple, and there's now just water flooding this entire chamber. You actually see it sort of like comes up to about knee height, like water is in this area now.
Whoa.
Wet again.
My
Yeah,
writing
there's
set.
nothing wrong with being a little wet. Oh, yeah.
Yes, there
I
is.
pulled it
Kaito.
out, but then my eyesight went somewhere else, so my writing set's under the water. I'll have to draw that out later. Get new paper.
Kaito, you love water. It's not good being wet all the time.
Pick up my writing set and put it back in my bag.
Dragon? Sir Jiao. What do I call you? Sir Jiao. Do you have a title apart from Sir Jiao?
You turn to face the dragon. As you look, the kobold's form is in the water on its back, leaning up against the staircase. Instead of the rather, young kobold that you see, now there is a venerable figure in front of you, wrinkly and covered with kind of like like liver spots and just looking withered and decayed. The person before you is no longer the same kobold that you had seen.
Are you okay? Did you spend too much energy on that?
He leans forward, and as he tries to open his eyes, he says, "No, I will be fine. But you have your answer."
Our thousand thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. If there's anything we can do to repay you.
Just go. Be on your journey.
Thank you, Master, but I have another question. There's a person I seek before any Master. Hatsune, our friend, was carried off by a giant bird, possibly even a rock. With your knowledge of this mountain, perhaps you know where the nest might be?
Of course. You speak of Goldwing.
Goldwing?
Yes. I raised Goldwing from but a small egg. He lives in the temple's roost. Yeah. He reaches down and he pulls out what looks to be a tiny series of like little tiny chocolate covered sticks as he hands it to you. Present these to her. I'm sure she will allow you to. And with
Would
that,
you like us?
And with that, he goes silent.
I'm gonna check his pulse.
Yeah, we'll just say, yeah. Run up and see if he's just sleeping. Passed out.
The tiny figure of the kobold is cold to the touch. Because he's a lizard, Neil.
Oh, God.
I was waiting for that punchline.
Yeah. No. He's fine. He is just sleeping.
Okay.
Okay.
But I've got this image of two people. There is only one person there, right?
Yeah, there's only one person.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had this image of this kobold being dead and this other person just magically reappearing in front of me.
Here,
No.
I'm gonna-
He's not dead. He is just he is
Aged.
just, very aged, very tired.
Aged considerably. Okay.
Taisho, help me help him up. We're gonna go. Find
Yeah.
his
Yes.
room.
Yes.
Yeah, you pull-
Taisha
you-
will go over and just
Pull him out of the puddle.
Oh.
Yeah.
pretty much.
I forget how strong Taisho is, and I say, okay, we should go find his bed, or just we could put him in his throne.
Without-
Actually, no.
Thrown.
So without too
place
much
is
searching,
huge.
you find a very humble sleeping quarter. Despite the opulence that you can see around you, you can tell the story very easily of the dragon that was once here. Venerated literally as a deity or a divine being by the people, this temple was a shrine to the glory of his dragonness. There are many depictions of him ruling over a mountain people. There are lots of him like changing the landscape, bringing havoc and chaos throughout the mountains, before eventually quelling. There is no depictions of his capture, of course, but in a room that you believe would be the master bedroom, there is no grand bed. There is no big kind of boudoir. There is just a simple straw mattress, and there's not even a table. There's just like a glass of water next to what appears to be a very well-used candle, and a blanket.
Well,
Yeah, I
turns
guess.
out his times
Oh.
spent as a kobold, definitely seemed to teach him a lot of
Taisha will
wisdom.
lay Taisha will lay the Xiao Jiao on the straw mat, and in a very surprisingly tender move, will pick up the blanket and cover him.
All right. As this
This is
happens,
water.
Now, Odd Bandicoot has just donated a insight bonus to the group, so I'm going to give this Taisho. As you do this, the old man's hand sort of touches you on the arm, and he says only 3 words: "You are strong." And as he says this, there is this huge rush of your blood that just sort of goes from your fingertip all the way through your body. You feel physically warmer than you have in a long time. As this happens, you hear this. And the demon that was on your shoulder literally vaporizes. And for the first time, the words that this man has said, "You are strong," didn't refer to your ability to lift or to push or to punch or to kill, but to your strength to choose to be vulnerable around others, which is a strength that even those who can move mountains had to take eons to learn.
Taisha will... Wow.
Thank you,
Shit,
Odd
you got me a
Bandicoot,
bit there.
for the insight bonus.
Oh. Jeez, you got me a bit there, Michael. Fucking hell.
Yeah, just look at Edward's face.
Taisho is will simply bow his head, not say anything, just simply bow his head. Carry on putting the blanket across the old man. Walk out of the room, and then yell at the sky, "Serves you right, you bastard! Fucker!" Ugh.
Yelling at the demon who's gone.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Nice. All right. Now, sorry, because we only have like about another 5 minutes.
And
I'm going to move us a little bit further along.
Yeah.
You take a few moments to catch your breath and to again like process what has been happening. I will say that in the behind the scenes, you guys are welcome to have in character discussions in the group chat about like the prospect of going to Nagajor, the island, how you're going to get there, yada yada yada. During this period of time, you are climbing up the staircases towards the roost. Now, as you make your way up the flight of stairs, eventually you come to the top, where it opens out to the mountainsides, where you can hear the sounds of the wind, just blowing super hard against the side of the building here. There, nestled between two very very large pillars, you can see kind of like these chains that kind of lead down. Like again, if you look at the picture above me, you can see these two large towers with the chains that sort of connect to the main tower. You could see atop one of these towers an immense nest, on which sits a giant bird.
Big bird.
It's beautiful. She's beautiful, isn't she?
Yes, but
She's big.
She's also possibly dangerous.
Who has those treats? Who has those
I-
snacks?
I
grabbed
do.
them Oh, you do? Okay.
Then I definitely trust you with them.
After Julio.
You look at the very well. It's not thin, right? But it is a chain, so it's 1 foot over the other to try and climb across and upwards towards the tower.
We'll be right behind you.
They seem to give you
No,
the
you
thumbs
won't.
up.
You'll stay off the chain if you know what's good for you. I don't want it shaking while I'm trying to get across.
You know what? That's perfectly fine with me.
Good with me too. We are very high up. I don't like heights. You can see Taisho is trying to stay as far away from the edge as possible.
And also
Actually,
considering the three of ours experience on the bridge, I feel like that's warranted to act a little like this.
I was gonna say, I trust Lou with this. I feel like someone should be down by the bell that the master was at before, in case another earthquake starts happening. I did see what he did before, so I might be able to help stop it. So I'm gonna actually go down to the bell. Like pray to it and stuff.
Sure. You head over to the bell.
Okay, and I'm just praying when I'm waiting for them to come back down. So, but if an earthquake does happen, then I know what to do.
You will ask, does anyone else have a rope and grapple, please?
I lost mine.
I don't think I actually have one.
Yes.
Could I borrow that, please?
Ooh.
So Liu's plan at this point is to try and use some of the climbing kits as a kind of safety line in case he does make a misstep. I'm not sure how long that chain is, but I'm kind of hoping it's enough that he can make it on 2 lengths. What I would hope they're trying to do is to actually get one end of the grappling hook and sort of hook it through one of the chain links as an anchor point.
Yeah, I'm happy for that.
And then to try and make his way up the chain. And
All
when
right.
he reaches the end of one rope, he'll hook in the second and try and use that.
No, I dig that. All right. Very carefully, very cautiously, and very slowly, you begin to make your way across. I need. Let's just go with 1 athletics check. Look, if you can do it well once, I'm going to presume you can do it well a bunch of times.
Athletics, not acrobatics. Grab the right thing, that would help.
Okay, good.
It's a reasonable result.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is a reasonable result. Wait, hold on. Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. I think that there were just some audio issues in chat.
Oh.
No, it's fine. It might just be
That's
McKinley. Okay. Oh, okay. Yep. Because his headphones were. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. We're good. All right. So with an athletics check of 21, you do manage to make your way across. It is, I guess, as I mentioned, a slow and arduous process, but you eventually make it to the edge of the tower. Climbing up and over and into the tower itself, you find yourself at the base of a very, very large bird's nest.
Okay, I will. Obviously, I'm expecting Goldwing to still be at home, essentially, because we saw it from below.
Climbing up and peering over, you do indeed see a large rock with golden feathers that seems to be nestled. It's looking out over the mountains, which it's not looking towards the temple, mostly because, well, people don't come and visit it. So it doesn't really keep an eye on the temple, but it is keeping an eye on the surrounding mountains.
I will try and gently speak to it in Tengu, or as a Skyborn Tengu, I figure I have a bird-like language. It's not very hopeful, but
it is avian, and yes, you may try to do this. Let's go with a diplomacy check, I guess.
please.
Oh no! You have your
I would
reroll.
like to use my question check, please.
You may do so.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's much better.
Wow.
And I'm gonna burn one of my jinx points and make you re-roll that.
Ah!
You're on. Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna burn my inspiration to give it to no.
All right.
Quick, donate
Wow.
channel points. Quick.
jinxed
Wow.
indeed. Jinxed indeed. Wow.
Yep, absolutely jinxed. All right, so you've reached up and you've begun to speak in Orin. The trouble is that this particular creature has been raised by a kobold, specifically a dragon. So unfortunately, it doesn't speak avian. It does, however, speak pure, perfect draconic. So as you've come up and started to speak at the rock, I am absolutely not just sitting here checking the CR of a rock right now. Just to be able to find what it is. It's a CR 9. Jesus, yeah, you guys would die. Let's go with. Let's find out a little bit more about rocks before we jump to conclusions. And let's share some of the pretties with our lovely audience as well. So again, imagine a golden version of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Do the treats not help?
Big eagle.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah,
Didn't see
that's
the mammoth
like a
that
mammoth.
first.
That's a mammoth.
That is a mammoth, isn't it?
That's a mammoth
Yes,
in
it
his
is.
hands.
Yeah, it was being covered by Michael's head, so I didn't see it at first.
There you go.
I'm like, oh,
All right.
yeah.
So I landed on one of those.
All right, so what have we learned about rocks? Legendary massive raptors capable of carrying off elephants as prey. They are typically 30 foot long from beak to tail and have a wingspan of 80 foot. They usually nest along mountainsides and cliffs, inaccessible to all but the bravest of terrestrial dwellers. Oh, there you go. Look at that. The bravest. Long-range predators, hunting and seeing. They are
Pretty hard to
antisocial
roll,
and
right?
lone
Stupidity
hunters.
have a fine line.
Yeah. They are very protective of their chicks. Particularly skilled druids or rangers may capture and train a rock to serve as a flying mount. Though such examples are incredible feats of domestication and few and far between. A chick
Dragon
imprint
could
on
do
the
it.
first creature it sees, but acquiring a rock egg is by no means an easy feat, and a death sentence for most would-be egg snatchers. Which, of course, sounds perfect for what it would think you were doing up here. As it turns its head to face you, it thinks for a moment that that you are here to steal one of its eggs, which as it sort of moves and sort of stands up, correcting its posture and correcting its form, stretching its wings out, you realize there are 3 eggs and Hatsune. Thankfully, Hatsune, due to her particular shape, has been misidentified as an egg.
I'm sure she'll be thrilled to hear that later.
And you can't speak rock specifically, but something along the lines of "get away from my babies" is very quickly coming through as the rock puffs out its chest and begins to flap its wings. At which point, I need an athletics check from you.
Oh.
Presumably we can hear this, right?
Oh yeah, you hear it and you see it. The wings go up and you can see it's like almost like a freaking crown on the top of the tower as it tries to
Can
blow.
I hear it from below, or
As you what?
can I hear it
Oh
from
yeah,
below?
because he's further away. Yeah.
I risk
Okay.
giving up one hand of my handhold on the nest to hold up the little packet and go treat. Treat.
All right. It
Nice.
looks down at you and opens its beak. The beak comes flying in, and that is where we will leave today's session.
Oh.
As we will return to find out if Goldwing kills Liu or not. Maybe not.
It's gonna eat Crow.
Stay time for next year.
All right. Yes, and of course that is the last game of the Ruby Phoenix for this year. We are going on a 2-week break, so I can recharge my batteries, redo all my assets, so that my computer and my programs don't look as terrible as all of you got to see earlier on today. Yeah, we're going to do that. Liu, you're not Robert Irwin. You know what? Part of me is slightly joyful that you that you said Robert Irwin. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our last moment to share our memorable moments, but we're going to do 2 today. We're going to do the memorable moment for today's session, and we're also going to come back around and do a memorable moment for this year's games. Now, I'm for Rick and Neil. I'm also going to include the Starfinder game as well, as of course, if you recall, this is kind of.
That's not fair. Now we have to think about 2 games.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the point. It's like an end of year. It's like an end of year. A year in passing.
Look back.
Yeah, look back. All right, so let's start with Rick. Let's start with this game. Rick, memorable moment for today.
Look, I'm not trying to steal anyone's thunder, but Taisho's moment there with the old man and the blanket just so beautifully summed up some of the things, like the competing stuff from Yin Lo and the teacup and the all the little bits he's been told about strength in compassion and mercy coming to that moment with the blanket. Just gold.
That was really cool. And you know what? Believe it or not, that was actually and I did tell this to Rick actually last week. That was the criteria of getting rid of the demon was basically putting aside your insecurities to do something selfless. That was the nature of it. So yeah. No, awesome. I agree. That was a wonderful moment. Sean.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the "you are strong," moment as well. But I will also say though, that I did also enjoy the imagery that you gave of you're passing over Goka, through Tianxia to see the master doing their thing. It's like that was pretty cool too. That gave me a really cool image in my head.
Nice. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. Taisho?
Oof, yeah. I genuinely can't pick one. The moment with the kobold was actually good, but it got me a little bit. So that is definitely a memorable moment for me. But also the way you described the way the kobolds looked for the different to look for the Watermaster, and then right at the end, just Leo just going treat.
Yeah, that was cool. I did like that moment. It's like, Jake!
Pretty much.
That was cool. I did like that. Neil.
I have to say my favorite moment was when Taisho and Tamaki were crossing the bridge, like in tangent, like when they were like together, like creating the foothold. That was pretty neat. I was like, in my head, I'm just like, he just flips over to the other side, comes over, and then, you know, we're gonna do this, and then yeah, we did it. I'm like, oh my god, that was cool. Well, one of the few times I have
the
quick thinking,
craziest
and
way to cross a bridge.
Yeah. That was fun.
Use the
You're
only
muted.
one
You're
that-
muted, Michael.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was saying, yeah, no, that was
so
very
good.
cool. I like the bridge. All right. Last one. Memorable game for this year. Let's start in reverse order this time. So we're gonna go with Neil again.
Okay, I guess I'll
No, I'm
say-
teasing. I'm teasing. We'll come
No.
back. Oh, you have one?
I do. Definitely the last fight with there was like a bunch of good moments when we were doing the Starfinder game.
Mhm.
My favorite definitely still had to be the end when we were fighting the God Host. And I like pulled a fast one on him. He like stuck me to the wall, and I'm like, try and catch me. And I just warped like light speed away. And he's like, haha, I just light jumping through the room. You're like, oh shit. Now everybody goes after him, and I'm like, oh no, oh.
No, that was very cool. I did like that.
Especially, and then when you're like at the end, when you said that, like I managed to get the blood, and like all the audience members was helping us get out of there. That was amazing. I
So
love
many
you guys.
rerolls.
The-
Oh my
the-
goodness.
You guys are awesome.
I'm so happy that I was the one that got the final reroll. I'm like, haha.
Son donated. He's like, yeah, I don't know. That was awesome. I'm like,
least I
hey,
think I
now I
did.
have God Host. Now I have God Host pet in a cage.
It could have been Lance too. I
Now,
know Lance and I
now
both
Ren
rerolled
becomes
at the
the
very
big
end.
bad evil guy of the next campaign because he's he's now cloning. He's cloning god hosts just for fun.
The hell listen to me. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that is a cool one. I like that. Taisho, memorable moment for this year?
Ooh, that's a good
Well,
one.
I had one, and now I've got now I have another one thanks to my bluff. But one of the first one is the the session that happened 2 weeks ago, when the audience was giving us roll after roll after roll after roll, and just Fantasy Grounds was saying no, no, no,
I
no.
remember
You're
watching
not
that
going to
one,
have you're not going to have a high roll today, dice roll today. Just go no. that entire session was that.
Yeah,
And
sometimes...
the second one, which sorry,
Oh, no, I was going to say, sometimes that just happens, and you're just like, well,
Yeah.
I guess I'll die.
That's just that's
yeah,
just
I
the
guess
way
it was
you
just one of
play.
those times. That was a particularly memorable moment. But also, what the one that my bluff just gave me was also that's that little ball.
Oh, yeah,
bell
but
thing that he
Unbreakable
got.
ball.
Yeah, and Taiso trying desperately to this tiny little freaking ball that he's seen somebody else just go, and him just going, I can't. This is really annoying. Why can't I do this?
Yeah, it's-
I should be capable of this. I am a great and
Yeah.
powerful warrior. No, that is cool. I did quite like that one as well. Kaito?
I mean, this is gonna sound kind of cheesy, but I mean, just in general, being here and playing with you guys is kind of like, you know, just like the highlight of like the entire year in general. Because it's been so long since I've been able to like really be a part of like any kind of tabletop group, and to
Aw.
come back to one that's like so cool, it's like I really like it.
Aw,
So-
that is cheesy.
Yeah, for me, yeah, like I said, it's gonna sound cheesy. But I
Very
can't help
cheesy,
it.
but still.
Oh, we love you too, man. Rick?
Look, there's there's been. I want to answer 3 different levels if I can really quickly. The first one in terms of just moments that was kind of cool was that the God host fight that Neil was referring to, because I'd built Crash over the levels into something of a protector. He just had to be in that group. And so that final moment where he stands up to the blast of the God hosts.
That was awesome.
Because I'd built him with all these regeneration mechanisms that he'd never had to use. And he was able to take it, get knocked down to 0 hit points, and then just stand straight back up again. But part of me says that was just, I enjoyed it because the mechanics worked how I wanted the mechanics to work. There's actually been better sessions than that. There have been times where I've just felt really immersed in the story, and there's more than one. So I don't want to pick a gameplay moment, because there's been entire sessions where for 2 hours or whatever it is, I've just been able to get into the story, and I love that. That's what and at the third level, it's been being part of this campaign because I don't know how many people in the audience know it, but Nick and I are married, so we've role played together over a number of years, and recently we haven't had the chance to do it very much. So for us to be able to be in this game together, and I know Nick's schedule means she's not always able to be here, like she's not here this morning, but that's a really big thing for me, to be able to enjoy and tell stories with her. So that's, yeah.
Aww.
that actually makes a big difference to me.
Oh, well, that's cool. I love having all of you guys here. To give mine as we get ready to wrap. My favorite moment today was definitely the reveal of Zhu Zhao as the Dragon Master. Because I always intended him to be like, from when he met you guys just out in the streets and going, "Ooh, you look like you're in a bit of trouble. Do you need a hand? Like, where are you going?" It's like, "Oh, we're heading to the Dragon Temple to do all this." And he was just, he was just with you and helping guide you and stuff like that. And yeah, just having him be the only person there, that was really good. That was awesome. And I like the idea that he doesn't spend his time in the castle either. Like, that he does spend his time with the Sherpas and the people, trying to make amends for that period of time where he was ruling over them. It was really cool, and I did like the fact that you kind of built an attachment to him before you got to that stage. Because I reckon if he was just up there already, it would have been like, like, oh, this guy, But now you've got like a very personal connection to him, which was just wonderful to see come into fruition and have that revelation kind of step up.
I thought we were gonna have to fight him at first because he was really threatening.
Yeah, I love that moment of second guessing where it's like he's training the Sherpas to break rocks to free himself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's like, oh gosh, this is all just a scheme for him to be released. Oh no.
It was originally that was the whole point. It was originally designed to break his prison, but then through practice and patience and all the things you needed to get to that point where he could break himself free, or get close to breaking himself free, he found something else, and that was the cool thing. And I loved how sharing that with Taicho was like the important bit, like because he was very he was like he was very much in that same attitude.
So in hindsight, you just insulted him to his face, Edward. Like, you're just like, like everything here is horrible, because like he's like the spirit of the mountain, basically. So it's like when you said that, it's like, oh, like you were telling the truth of the creature.
No, I no. Taisha said the world isn't the world is not good.
True. That's a good point.
He didn't say that. He said the world is not good.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot. You didn't say anything to about the creature itself.
All right, I want to hear Michael's highlight of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's I've realized I've set myself up for this. All right. So I think my highlight...
favorites, Michael.
Oh man, there are so many favorites. Honestly, I think my favorite that involves you guys is probably going to be literally just like that final fight in the Starfinder game with Ren was amazing. Little things like just the audience wanting you not to die despite like millions of rolls. Those are always really, really fun. I think I think I think the big highlight for me was the the end of the Starfinder game. That big fight was just epic. It was just epic on so many different levels. But I think as a side, my favorite moment of the year from games that involved you guys, it would definitely be the one where we had our friend Shades, who couldn't join us for this game, where he was they were like in a firefight, and they were in a bunker, and Shades' character had found another Shirin, a member of his race.
Yeah.
And there was kind of like this, like almost like a semi-platonic, quasi-romantic kind of little thing happening. You know, kind of one of those like, after the war we have a chance to do stuff, and then having the building collapse, on that scene and stuff like that when the aliens sort of showed up. That was my heart was like, I was like, oh, I feel so bad. This is. That was one of my that was a highlight moment that'll stick with me forever.
Did ever come back later? That was awesome too.
Yeah. I know it was great.
Just showing up again. We were like, yes.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to now go and raid. Thank you again to our sponsors, Hero Forge, Fantasy Grounds, and of course, Sirenscape. You guys make my streams amazing. Thank you for your ongoing support. Thank you for this last year of just wonderfulness that has allowed me to, for the most part, look pretty damn good online. So, guys, go check out these places. They are all wonderful. I highly recommend each and every one of them. We are going to go and raid Phoenix Iwaki. He is doing a relief for the Kentucky tornado that had recently ravaged the US. So we're gonna go raid his channel. Please, if you do have money, if you do have the ability to donate generously, because people over there really need some help right now. I will be featuring tomorrow on Phoenix's fundraiser and helping out in my own way as well. And there'll be some Hero Forge gift cards that'll be up for grabs during that as well. So go well, go happy, be awesome, have a wonderful and safe holiday season. Tomorrow is my last series of games, and Sunday I'm going to be doing a Christmas thank you and a wrap-up. So be sure to come and check that out. Until next time, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.